Jack was in the wrong place at the wrong time when his guardian was arrested. It cost him over a year of his life. He lost everything he knew. The first time he met his caregiver, he was just 8 weeks old. She named him after her late sister, Jackie. She was quite vulnerable and struggling with addiction, which led her down the path of shoplifting to get supplies for her and Jack. When the police came to arrest her, Jack got caught in the middle. His guardian says that when the two police officers climbed over their garden fence, Jack was just standing looking at them, but the police had a different story. They said that Jack was aggressive, barked, lunged and bit. In their statements, they claim that they were forced to attack him with a taser and pepper spray. The court paperwork describes how Jack collapsed, yelped and ran away into the house. His caregiver was absolutely distraught, kicking out as they tried to handcuff her, screaming, "What have you done to my dog?" Jack was tasered a second time before being dragged out of the premises on a catch pole and hospitalised to have the barbs from the taser removed from his face and leg. With his guardian taken into custody, there was no one left to speak for Jack. He was labelled dangerous, taken to police kennels to await his trial. His world shrank to 4 walls after police told the kennels that he'd attacked an officer, deemed high risk, so he had no walks, no yard time, and was kept in isolation. So what is the truth? Did he attack a police officer or not? We're going to find out in part 2 when we look through the court documents. Jack was essentially being stored as evidence in police holding kennels and was still there a year after the incident where he was tasered and seized. His guardian had waited a long time for their day in court, and that day had finally arrived. The truth would be uncovered with the help of the body-worn camera footage. The officer was adamant that Jack had been told to get him. He wrongly assumed that Jack had been taught a verbal cue to bite people, but when the video was played back, everyone could see that she was trying to call him away, saying get here, not get him. They also said that she refused to get him under control, but the video proved that she couldn't have done anything because they were pinning her down from the whole time he was outside. When Jack was taken to police holding kennels, which are a subcontracted kennels not owned by the police, the staff were allegedly told that he'd attacked an officer. But was this true? Technically, in England, a dog doesn't have to bite someone to be classed as dangerously out of control. If a dog causes someone to worry that they might get injured, that's also an offence. So they could have said that, but to be more specific, the worst that happened that day was a nip that did not result in any broken skin or bruising. I can't help but wonder whether if the kennel assistants had a more thorough understanding of what really happened that day, they might have been more comfortable to take him into the outside exercise areas, which would have gone a very long way to improve his welfare. When he first arrived there, he would have been feeling pretty awful. He'd just been discharged from the hospital after having the taser barbs removed, and he'd had a chemical irritant sprayed into his face, a spray designed to cause intense pain and skin burning to criminals. After hearing all of this, the judge decided that Jack could go home. His guardian couldn't have been happier, and they were reunited shortly after. But their celebration was short-lived because she and Jack now faced homelessness. Come back for part 3 when Jack has yet another hurdle to overcome. This is part 3 of Jack's story, how he ended up coming to the attention of Spirit of the Dog Rescue. Please consider donating if you're able. Good morning, you're through to Spirit of the Dog Rescue. How can I help you? The phone call we got that day was not uncommon, especially with the cost of living and housing crisis in the UK. The lady who got in touch about Jack was in quite a bad way, explaining how he'd been by her side since he was a baby, but she was now facing homelessness. She'd tried to rehome him to a family friend, but it hadn't worked out. They were both vulnerable because she'd been moved into emergency accommodation, and if she didn't find somewhere for him to go by the weekend, they would both be out on the street. We don't have a space right now, but I can ask some rescue contacts and take some details from you to get back to you if they have space. One of the German Shepherd rescues said they could take him, which was great news, so we passed over the details and went to move on to our next job. But the next phone call that came in was a tip-off from somebody who knew Jack. They told us that the story we had wasn't quite right because he'd only just been released from police kennels where he'd been detained for over a year, that he'd attacked a police officer and was so dangerous that they'd been unable to get him out for walks for the duration of his stay. They said he was a significant risk to the public. We phoned Jack's guardian back and asked whether this was true. She admitted he had been seized, but said that it wasn't his fault and the story really wasn't as it seemed. When I relayed all of this to the rescue who said they'd take him, they had to drop out. But they stayed in the loop and have been really supportive. Door after door closed in his face, and our position hadn't changed either. So the holding kennel that had been his long-term home until just under 2 weeks ago decided to have him back while he was waiting for a rescue to step up for him. Because of how unpredictable and volatile they said he was, it wasn't clear at this this point whether the kindest thing would have been euthanasia. While I continued to make calls to try and find him a lifeline, the kennels reported seeing a different side to Jack. They'd gone from being so scared of him that they'd had to keep him in isolation and not walk him, to wondering if his life could turn around with the right help. The rescue sector's in crisis and there's a national kennel shortage. So Jack had had no rescue offers and the kennels wanted to know if we'd cover his bills. We do work with rented kennel facilities, but in a very specific way where our team can visit the dogs most days. They said that we could work with him there, take it one step at a time and see how he got on. So after hearing so much about him, I arranged to go and meet him for the first time. He was concerned about a stranger approaching, so my first experience of him was hiding in the back of his kennel, peering through the door from his bedroom. Things weren't adding up. We had a different version of the story from the kennels, Jack's guardian, and now Jack. I wondered if I could get some factual evidence from the solicitor involved in his trial, and she agreed to talk to me. So many pieces of the puzzle were slotting together as we were going through all of these documents. Jack was the victim in all of this, and we did a bit of a deep dive into that in part 2. It was time for a fresh start, for Jack to show us who he really is. Come back for part 4 to see how he got on during his time with Spirit of the Dog Rescue, and how different his life looks today. This is part 4 of Jack's story, the day we finally got to meet the dog we'd heard so much about. Stick around for the happiest ending. We were told he probably would hide and be scared of us, so we were prepared for this. He watched me throw some food in, and then I moved right out of sight so he could be comfortable enough to retrieve it. At this point, he can't see me, but I left the camera running on the floor so I could come back and have a look afterwards. It's so heartbreaking to see the condition that he was in. As soon as I came back in to throw some more food, he ran and hid, so I kept repeating the process of leaving food and then moving right away so he could get it. We call this treat and retreat. We don't want Jack to feel conflicted between really wanting the food but not wanting to approach a stranger, so the aim is not to lure him. I filled up a snuffle ball with some nice treats and popped it in his kennel, and he seemed to really like it. We spent a good while doing this, but after some time, he decided that maybe I wasn't so bad after all, and he got a little bit braver. And this is when it happened, so I came back into view. He moved away, but this time when I picked the treats up ready to scatter them, he came back to see me. We are seeing some of those conflicted feelings though, so he comes for the food, flinches, tails tuck. I want to throw it away from me so he doesn't have to come up to me for it, and he could still choose to move away from me anytime. As the day went on, he got a little bit more comfy. It was hard to believe everything we'd been told about him, about how aggressive he was. I couldn't wait to get back to update the trainers and behaviourists on his wellbeing team. His cheerleaders included Samantha, Jessica, Nada, Katie, Kerry, Becky and Daniel, who were thrilled to see the highlight of our session. What? Thank you. At his next visit, things started a lot more positively. I was so pleased when he decided to come over straight away.
Hello, you want to see what I got? Nice to see ya. I've got some chicken today.
In his team group chat, we were talking about lots of different things, like his gait, the way that he moves, and the muscle wastage he might have from being in a kennel for over a year without exercise. We spoke about talking to a vet about whether he might be able to have some pain medication to see if that makes him feel better, because the staff at this facility, who had known him a long time, were adamant that he could just switch into aggression at the drop of a hat, and sometimes that means the dog's in pain. We asked the kennels if we could arrange for a vet to come out to see him on site here, but they had some safety concerns around that. The last time Jack had needed to see a vet, they had recommended that police come, use a catch pole to get him out of the kennel, and then sedate him so that he could be groomed and have his vaccination. We hadn't seen any aggressive behaviours from Jack yet, but we had to work in a way that the kennels felt comfortable with. So veterinary surgeon Yashu very kindly offered to join Jack's wellbeing team and see him via video call.
We'll do pain trial with the medications, poo sample, and then based on results we'll kind of go from there.
The kennels sent photos of Jack's stools every day. I will spare you the photos. We got him on some good probiotics and collected some samples for the vet. I mean, aside from having all these yummy treats, there was definitely something funky about his bowel movements. While we waited for the results, Jack continued to make progress. Come back for part 5. Jack is ready to share part 5 of his story with you. Please donate if you can. He's gone from completely fearful to inquisitive. We needed some new activities to do together, preferably that didn't involve food. After story time, we went in search of something else. And in the group chat, we decided on some scent work. So I set off to go and visit our local animal sanctuary to see if they could help us out.
Difference in the flavour?
I think a blend would be nice.
A blend? Yeah. Hello, can I have your poo?
If Jack couldn't go to the world yet, then we would bring the world to Jack.
For our activity today, we're going to be smelling different types of smells. And horse poop. No, I'm not going to eat it. Interesting.
I want a bit of pig poo.
piggy poo. Okay, this one's chicken poop. Right, ready? Smell it. What do you think? Well, you've got a very clever nose. Thanks, I love that. Can you get it? Hard to grab. That's it, well done. Hello, Pickle.
Yashi the vet called back and said that his stool sample had come back testing positive for Giardia. So we gave the kennels a cleaning protocol, bought the right disinfectant and got him the treatment. Let's skip to the good bit. So the kennel staff cut the grass in the exercise area to make it usable and Jack could finally go out. We still hadn't seen anything aggressive at all, but we bought these Kevlar sleeves just to keep everybody safe. These are the highlights of over 20 hours of footage. Time to find out if Jack was going to eat me. Comment below how many fingers you think I had left at the end of the day. He wasn't sure about the paddling pool at first, but in the end it was his favourite thing. It was the highlight of his day. So we gave him a second one. This was so good to see. We really hope at some point in the future we'll be bringing you videos of him at the beach. There wasn't a dry eye in the house the first time Jack played. Each time he came out, he really looked forward to his free work setup. That's all of these things down here on the floor. And as part of this activity, we incorporated a muzzle so that he could start building a positive association with it. We really wanted to progress him out of this smaller garden area at this point and was hoping the kennels would allow us to use the bigger field out the back for him. Trainer Kerry offered us a different activity we could do.
This is what I recommend from the sniffer shop. You can get this portable Kong sniffer kit. Yes. When you give it a treat, you give him the treat. Start adding in the word, your cue, like search. Things to look out for, displacement behaviours.
As you might remember from previous video diaries, the staff at the kennels here looked after Jack when he was seized by the police. And they still felt very certain that he was a very dangerous dog. We really wanted to groom him, but they said that being touched with a brush was a big trigger for him, which is why they'd suggested that he be sedated for his last groom. They couldn't accommodate our groomer Lisa coming on site, so Lisa very kindly lent us her equipment.
So you lift it, and it's called line brushing.
Okay.
So that would be really good for like around his knickers. Coat management spray.
Okay.
And what it does, like a silicone around the head, stop it matting.
We got the coat spray on him and introduced him to the brush. He had a full groom when he got to his new placement not long after. Stay tuned for that because he looked incredible. During this time, Jack had gotten a lot more comfortable with his lead going on too. We did everything at his pace so he felt totally comfortable.
Good boy.
These days he seems to feel excited when he sees a lead. This was a really lovely interaction where he came round and ended up trying to give me his paw for the treats that were in the bum bag in my lap. But this moment highlights the importance of recording our work because kennel staff thought that he was being dominant, almost like a bit of a bully, and it gave us the opportunity to watch the footage back and discuss how dominance theory is very outdated and disproven. It's misunderstandings like this that get dogs like Jack mislabeled. It was time for a huge milestone for Jack, finally having access to the bigger field out the back, and he was going to meet a new friend, a member of his wellbeing team who'd been dying to meet him. He had such a lovely day with Katie and she was singing his praises all evening.
Lovely to work with you and Jack today. I really enjoyed it. He is just a very, very special boy. He gave such lovely body language all the way through our time together. Not what I was expecting at all. He wasn't showing anything worrying. It's clear to see that Jack has a really, really gentle spirit. He is a lovely dog. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with you guys again.
It's nearly time for you to see where Jack has gone on his new adventure and where he's gone to live. It's been really difficult to find him the right placement. We have searched high and low and spoken to the people in our rescue community who we would really trust with him. On August 21st, it all fell into place.
Hi mate, right, I am going to help the shepherd.
Hello. I'll come get you in a second. Hang on.
There was no better feeling than this. I was so excited to show Jack his new home and introduce him to his new caregivers, Steph and Niall. He has got acres to explore when he's ready, but for now he's checking out his lovely garden.
I'll do what you say.
Oh, good boy, Jack.
This dog isn't going to take long.
No.
Not in a different environment. I mean, it's different where he was.
It's really well here, it's really quiet.
It's time to see his new bedroom, and isn't it gorgeous? He is going to absolutely love that sofa. No more miserable kennel, no more being misjudged, mislabeled, accused of things he didn't do. All the people who doubted him are in his past, because now he gets to show the world who he really is. This is not the boy we first met. He has come such a long way, and he's going to come even further now that he's in the right environment. He had a lot of belongings to bring with him. We've been gathering lots of teddies for him along the way. Thank you to everybody who's been donating at our donation drop-off points, especially to the person who left this giant caterpillar at Pitsy Pets at Home. He made himself at home pretty quickly, and he had some very big thank you kisses for Steph. On a serious note, we couldn't be more thankful to Steph and Niall at New Hope. They have really given Jack a chance that he truly deserves, and we will always be grateful. It was time for me to say goodbye, but not for long because I'll be visiting soon. Here's an update from Niall a few days later.
Good boy.